But, Mark, let's do what we do every single week, and there's not many weeks where I'm going to be saying this. We've got, one more regular season week after this, and then, 3 playoff weeks? Because the Super Bowl, we don't do one of these. Like, we have an entire podcast/segment about the Super Bowl when it comes to that. But we go ahead, make our picks for every game this week in Week 16, and we're starting off with your favorite. So no Thursday night football this week, so it's good if you're in fantasy.
Thursday
you don't
night
have to deal with Thursday, but there's 2 Saturday games.
Also bad.
So you got to deal with that. And the first one, actually, we talked about most of these teams in the podcast. The first one, Redskins-Titans in Tennessee. The Titans are a 10-point favorite.
As they should be.
Do they get it done against the injured Redskins?
And that's exactly what it is. I mean, this is a team that, for the Redskins, that good job. You guys were doing well. Everything fell apart. Glad to see that Alex Smith is back home finally.
Good job. You got lucky against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, Jacksonville Jaguars are bad, so, I mean, I wouldn't consider luck when the team is bad.
Well, hey, the kiss of death helped you out with that win.
But, I mean, that's just a rough situation. I think Tennessee Titans can easily get this one done, and they have to. They have to stay in the hunt.
Like I said, this is a team not only 5-1 at home. I said earlier they were going to get this win, no problem. I am sticking by it. The Titans will win in Tennessee against the Washington Redskins. And then the nightcapper for the Saturday games, we've got the Baltimore Ravens at 8-5.
Yep.
The 11-3 LA Chargers. The Chargers are a 4.5-point favorite in this one. Going to be playing in Carson, California. You earlier on said how this is probably going to be an upset pick for you.
I'm going upset with the Ravens. I mean, Ravens have a great defense. Not that the Chargers don't have a good defense too, but this is a great defense for the Ravens. And I know it's hard for a defense to travel like that, but I still think that when it comes to the Ravens, who, if they don't win this game, I'm sorry, you're not going to the playoffs. It's that simple. Every single game for the Ravens at this point is a playoff game to win their division and steal it from the Steelers. So I got to go with them on this one. Like I said, such an impressive defense. And Lamar Action Jackson, I know he's running all day and he's going to get himself hurt one of these days, but I don't think it's this game. Well, you keep running, you're gonna. But I don't think it's going to be this game. I think that he's been so impressive with what he can do, stealing the job very quietly from Joe Flacco, but I'm going to roll with the Ravens.
Well, I'm going to be on the other side of you, Mark. I'm going with I'm going to bolt up if you're not going to bolt up, and I'm going with the LA Chargers. This is a team, impressive win Thursday night. Like the meme said, it was the picture of Phillip Rivers' face. Hey, Patrick, that's a nice lead you got there. It'd be a shame if someone were to ruin it. And they had a nice win Thursday night. This is a team that is fighting still for home field throughout. They're still fighting for the Division II in the AFC West. The Chiefs, who we'll get to later, have a tough game against the Seahawks. I think the Chargers are going to play up for this one at home. Well, at home, air quotes, because it's not really a home for them. And they are going to beat the Baltimore Ravens this week on Saturday Night Football. Just sounds dirty to say that. Then we're going to go into the noon games. First off, the AFC North matchup. The Bengals going into Cleveland. Cleveland is actually an 8-point favorite. It's weird to say that, although it's not weird because Cleveland has been surprisingly good this year with now 5 wins on the docket.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of a thing going for them right now, and both these teams are struggling in quite a few different areas, but when it comes to the Bengals, they've got a terrible defense, so I'm not really that worried about it. I think the Cleveland Browns can do what they need to do to go out there and beat the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm gonna match. I'm going with the Browns to get the win over the Bengals. Bengals have not looked good ever since going 4-1 to start the year. They've been 2-7,
and they looked so good at the beginning too.
Well, I mean, Andy Dalton getting injured, put on IR, kind of hurt them a lot this season. But I just like the Browns in this one, getting a 6th win, and hopefully the Browns could have a perfect, if they win their next 2 games, they will have a 500 record of 7-7-1. Would it be 7-7-1? Yeah. No, can't be 7-7-1. It's only 15 games. Oh, they have 6. I have a little thing. They have 6 wins. Wow, I was undercutting them. So they'd be 8-7-1. 1 on the year, but I'm going to get the Browns this win. The next one is an easy one for me. Cowboys, they got shut out. They're going to host the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are not a good team to me. Cowboys should win this one easily in a bounce-back game after being shut out by the Colts last week.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that one. I mean, the Colts did such a good job against the Dallas Cowboys, and they kind of knew how to beat the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get that same advantage. I mean, they're 1-6 on the road, too. I mean, they don't travel, even though they have a really powerful offense.
And the Cowboys play well at home.
Yeah, they got a powerful offense with Tampa Bay, but I just don't think it's going to be enough.
Well, and the next one, NFC North matchup, and the boys are back in town, Mark, because DeFilippo gets fired. Viking offense puts up 41 points. I know that there are jokes going on everywhere that, hey, the Vikings are going to lose to the Lions, but double not so fast. Of course, I am picking the Vikings, who's a 5.5 point favorite to win this game. They will walk into Detroit, get the win, keep that playoff mojo going before playing the Bears at home next week.
And this is another must-win game. I mean, the Vikings are in playoff season already. They have to win essentially every single game here. I do think they'll go ahead and win. I like what they did offensively. And it's against Miami, who has a weak secondary, but it's not like the Detroit Lions are any better.
No.
I mean, they're not. I would rank them a little bit better than Miami, and especially their secondary, but it's not that much better for Detroit. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Vikings.
Plus, the Viking defense can travel well, and I hope that travel well.
It's not that far of travel.
No, it's not far at all. Plus, I mean, Ford Field, we've kind of made that like a second home for Minnesota. Am I right? And the next game, this one, yet again, should be an easy home win for the home team. Giants come in after being shut out by the Titans. They're 5-9. The Colts looking to stay in the playoff hunt at 8-6. Colts are a 9.5 point favorite, and Shane O'Mac going to be liking this one because I have got Frank Reich and Andrew Luck. Almost said Aaron Luck. Andrew Luck and the Colts getting the win over Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty easy one when I see it. I mean, for as bad as the New York Giants looked earlier in the season, 5-9 right now. You know, they're looking almost respectable. But I do think that this team here, even though Eli Manning's looking like he wants to prove that he's coming back next year, I still think Indianapolis here, they've got to win this one to get into the playoffs, so they're going to go ahead and make it happen at home.
And the next one, the battle for Florida, and I got to look up exactly right now. If the draft was today, Mark, the Jacksonville Jaguars would be the 5th overall pick.
Good for them.
One game out of being tied for the number 1 overall pick.
Nice.
They're going to stay in that race. Miami is going to get the win. Miami, a 4-point favorite. They're going to get the win against Jacksonville in Miami Gardens.
Yeah, and Miami's good at home. I mean, that's a big part of it. Miami's kind of feeling at least decent-ish about themselves because there were moments where they looked good against the Vikings.
Yeah.
They just kind of got a little bit outclassed. Fortunately, the Jaguars aren't very good. I don't think they're going to have a problem beating them.
And the next one, I've got an interesting question for you.
Okay.
Bills and Patriots.
Yeah.
Do the Patriots snap this little losing streak that they've got going on? It's, I believe it was, the first time that they have lost back-to-back games in December since, 2002. Do Tom Brady and the Patriots snap this streak, or do the Bills play up to the Patriots and get a win?
And the Bills are just such an interesting team because they can play up to teams, but they're just so inconsistent at times. And Josh Allen, as much as he wants to run around and do it all himself, I don't think the Patriots are going to let it happen. So I do think that Tom Brady, he's had enough. I mean, he looked like he was about to cry out there when that team, when he got beat by the Steelers with that last throw, and then he's just sitting on the ground like, why? Why does this happen to me?
It's just Brady, just sitting down, just boop.
Yep. Nobody ever says he's a sulker. People do, actually. But they're called Patriots haters by people like Sean. Anyways.
Brady haters.
I'm going to roll with the New England Patriots on this one. Pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that as well. I'm not ballsy enough to pick Bills Mafia on this one.
I want to, but I'm not going to do it.
Plus, it's in Foxborough, so Gillette Stadium, the Patriots will probably get the win. Then the next one's interesting to me because I want to pick the Packers, and I will, but the Jets at 4-10 are a 2.5 point favorite. I can't pick this Jets team because of my eyes see Sam Darnold play, and they go, I don't care how bad Aaron Rodgers has been. I'm going to pick Aaron Rodgers over Sam Darnold in this one. Are you going with Vegas or against Vegas?
Here's what I'm going to do. The Green Bay Packers I wish. The Green Bay Packers have not won a single road game this year. And I'm gonna roll with it, all right?
That they go 0-8?
Jets win it.
Okay.
Jets win it. They steal this one for the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are kind of demoralized. I mean, you could see it out there against the Bears that Aaron Rodgers' knee still kind of bugging him a little bit. He kind of re-aggravated it as well.
The road games are loss against the Redskins. That's when they hit Alex Smith. Loss against the Lions, the Rams, the Patriots, the Seahawks, the Vikings, the Bears.
Yep.
Not some easy road games.
No.
For the Packers to have. But nonetheless,
and the
you're
Jets,
0-7.
Jets are going to get it done.
Well, the Jets would be the 8th one. The next one coming up, this to me, and when I say interesting, I really do mean interesting because the Eagles, they need to win to kind of keep this Philly special going. They want to make the playoffs. They're trying to ride with Nick Foles back to the Super Bowl. And then you got the Houston Texans, who have just been on a murderous row since going 0-3. They've only lost one game since week 3 of the season. We talked about a couple weeks ago about how maybe this team could make a run in the AFC. Do they keep it going after starting a new win streak against the Jets, or do the Eagles have enough to keep this Philly special rolling and try to make it into the playoffs in the NFC?
I don't think that lightning's going to strike twice in this case. I don't think they do, and the Eagles need a little bit of help to make it happen, to get into the playoffs.
Well, they need the Lions to win.
Yeah, they certainly do. And with that being said, I think that the Houston Texans are going to win this one. Everything's looking great. You know, J.J. Watt's been playing phenomenally like always. Deshaun Watson's gotten back in his groove after kind of shaking off some rust. Things are looking great for the Houston Texans, and Houston Texans, who very well might be the 2nd seed in the AFC.
Yeah, probably, and I'm going to roll with them to get the win. And their kicker, I think it's I said it right on the What's Your Fantasy because Brandon helped me. Kaimi, is that his name? Kaimi Fairbairn?
Sure.
22 points for me in the consolation bracket last year in our fantasy league. They're going to roll with it. Houston is going to get the win in Philly. The Philly special will be done, a little well done, will be that Philly steak or cheesecake. No, not cheesecake. Cheese steak?
Cheese steak.
Is it a cheese
It's
steak
a cheese
sandwich?
steak.
Okay.
Yep.
I thought it was
I had one in Philadelphia under a bridge. It was fucking weird.
I thought it was going to be.
It was delicious, though.
I can't remember if it's a cheese steak sandwich or just a
Philly
steak sandwich.
cheesesteak.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to have cheese on it.
You got to have Philly and cheese.
It's the rule.
Okay. See, I'm not a huge steak sandwich guy, so
I actually don't really care much about steak
sandwiches either. But you were in Philly, and you're like, I've got to have one.
Yeah, under a bridge.
Why under a bridge?
That's where it was. It was under a bridge.
So the shop was under a bridge.
The restaurant was under a bridge.
Oh,
if you're a Philadelphia native, you probably know what I'm talking about.
Jake,
yeah, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's a really well-known Philly place. Not like the original place, but it's right under the highway.
You also say that the thing that weirded you out about Philly is how they park in the middle of the road.
Yep, they park in the median in South Philly.
Why?
Where else
did
you
ever
park?
Ask anybody why?
It's just one of those things you do. It's like in Chicago how you reserve your spot by putting trash cans out on the side of the road and nobody touches them.
Or lawn chairs.
All you got to
folding lawn chairs.
All you got to do is move it, but no one's going to because that's your spot.
Yeah, that's my spot, man. I'm putting that lawn chair down. I'm putting those garbage cans.
It's just
down.
a weird thing for the people.
Then the last noon game, the Falcons and the Panthers. Funny thing about the Panthers, Ed Reed posted on Twitter today. He was randomly, and for my audio listeners, I'm using air quotes, randomly drug tested again for the 7th time this season by the NFL.
Nice.
You know, just random, the 7th time at random that you're drug tested.
Right. At some point, I think the NFL just goes, we think you're on drugs.
We think you're taking steroids. You're hitting people too hard, Eric Reed.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and claw up on this one. I mean, the Carolina Panthers
they gotta bounce back.
They're a tale of two teams. You know, the home team and the away team, they're very different from each other.
And they almost won last night at home.
They could have made it happen.
Until Alvin Kamara had that late touchdown. I think the Panthers, I'm going with you, clawing up.
Yep.
They're going to get a win over the Falcons in Carolina. Then the first 3:05 game, I got to go back and scroll up for it because one of our favorite teams on our ESPN is the Bears. You got the Bears at 10-4 taking a vacation in Santa Clara, California, playing the 49ers. What do you think about your Bears getting the win?
Oh, for sure.
That's it?
Yeah.
No analysis at all?
Bears going to win. I mean, look at the Bears. They're a fantastic team. They're rolling high right now. I'm actually most interested to see what Nagy does with people like Aaron Lynch and players like Eddie Jackson. Does he say, you're a little banged up. I'm going to play it easy on you. You don't need to come back until the playoffs.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed if I was a Bear fan.
I mean, he did it with Trubisky. Trubisky, in everything they said was he could play, but we're going to play it safe for 2 weeks.
I'm going to go with the Bears as well. The 49ers, to me, play for that draft pick. Get a nice draft pick to help when you get Jimmy Garoppolo back, and the Bears will get the win in Santa Clara. I will say this. This is the thing I hate about these Saturday football games. You're giving me 2 games on Saturday, taking away 2 games that would be here in the late afternoons. Like, last week, I felt like, oh, we have a great slew of games here at the 12 o'clock spot. And then it's like, oh, I've got 2?
Yeah.
And it's like, if I go upstairs where I don't have red zone, I had the Patriots-Steeler game, and then the Seahawks-49er game was blacked out for us in Chicago. So it's like, what the hell is that?
Doesn't bother me too much because I don't have red zone. I actually will sit there and choose a game to watch.
But like for you, last week, you only had Patriots-Steelers in that late afternoon slot.
It was the correct game to watch.
Yeah, but during the commercials, you're going to switch over to the other one. That's what I do.
No, during the commercials is when you get stuff done. Like you do your laundry and stuff.
I can't stand commercials. But the next game, the Rams and the Cardinals, I think this one's easy. Rams with the win. They will bounce back no matter how bad they've been the last 2 or 3 games.
Yep, exactly.
Mark's like, nothing else to say. Then the last late afternoon game, the Steelers and the Saints. Steelers, 6-point underdogs, and you're thinking they're gonna lose this game, and the Saints are going 13-2.
Well, you're going into New Orleans, very tough to do, and I know that the Pittsburgh Steelers looked really good against the Patriots, but just before that, everybody was saying...
a little emotions behind that,
too. Just before that, everyone's saying, no, Pittsburgh's done. They're going to lose this division to the Ravens.
To the Rams, that would be shocking.
Totally possible. New Orleans Saints are looking absolutely stunning.
Yeah, I'm going to go
with last week.
I'm going to go with the Saints as well, just because I'm not ballsy enough to pick the Steelers. Yes, I know they beat the Patriots, but that's an emotional win, and this is something where, like I said it last week. I'm not going to pick the Steelers to beat them until they beat the Patriots. They beat the Patriots, and I'm still saying, the Saints will beat them.
Plus, let's be real here. The Jaguars beat the Patriots, too.
True.
The Jaguars are bad.
What happened to them? They got kissed out of the playoffs. Then we've got the Sunday night game. The Chiefs at 11-3. Seahawks at 8-6 in CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. Yes, the Chiefs are 2.5-point favorites, but is there any chance the Seahawks get the upset at home against one of the hottest teams in football?
Yeah, I'm going to go with it. I'm going to say that the Seattle Seahawks do it.
I am as well, because I want the Chargers to be the number 1 overall seed finally in the AFC.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love to see the Chargers get that honor as well.
And then the game nobody's going to watch unless you're a Denver Bronco or an Oakland Raider fan. And even at that point, you might say, hey, it's Christmas Eve. I ain't going to watch football today, but Monday Night Football. Or you're going to
be like, I don't want to watch this football game, but I don't want to talk to my family.
Christmas Eve action, the Broncos and the Raiders on Monday Night Football. Who you got in this meaningless matchup, the Broncos or the Raiders?
You know what I'll probably be doing instead of watching this game is watching White Christmas, because apparently that's a tradition.
Love that movie.
I'm not a huge fan of it.
It's
not
that movie?
Bad. It's not bad, but it's not great.
That's some good old Bing Crosby, some good
Andrew
old Andrew sisters.
Yep.
Hell yeah, man.
Yep. The in-laws, they love that movie so much.
Oh, I'm trying.
And I just think it's okay.
Oh, I'm trying to think of. Shoot, don't tell me. It's Bing Crosby, and it's not Danny Cannell. What's the guy's name?
Oh, I don't remember the other guy.
The other actor, Danny Kaye. That was it.
Yep.
I knew it was something like that, but Danny Kaye. Oh, I love that movie, Mark. One of my favorite Christmas movies.
It's a Christmas Eve tradition all of a sudden. And that's one of those times where I would be like, maybe I would rather watch this football game. But I'm actually going to roll with the Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to mess up their chance to be, every single way. They're
just going to give Dallas the 49ers Cowboys, the first overall pick.
The Dallas Cowboys get into the playoffs. The Bears have the potential to be the third or second seed in the playoffs, and now they're going to mess it up themselves by beating the Broncos.
Oh, man, it is going to be a fun week for sure, but this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section. What games are you picking? What games are you excited for? And let us know if you're going to watch that Christmas Eve game. Maybe you're just a person that's like, guys, I love football so much, I'm going to watch every game. I don't care what it is. And I respect you guys out there because I was definitely one of those, especially when I was in my younger youth. And I was really a more optimistic person than I am right now. But thank you guys for watching. A little bit of housekeeping here at the end. Make sure to check out patreon.com/mostvaluedpodcast where you can help support MVP. You can also do so by getting yourself an MVP t-shirt down below in the description or at mostvaluablepodcast.com. You can get your MVP each and every day. Last but not least, make sure to go on to Apple Podcasts and iTunes and rate and review the Onside Kick. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Thank you guys for listening on podcast services around the world. And as always, have a good day, everybody.